Getting in a seat, cross-legged or however is comfortable. Be sure the sit bones are rooted into the mat. You can do that by sliding the skin up and away from the sit bones. This will allow the spine to sit a bit taller. You can relax the facial muscles, close the eyes if you like. And on your next inhale, bring the shoulders up to the ears, create a bit of tension. And exhale, release the shoulders around, down and back, shoulder blades towards the spine. Inhale, create some tension. And exhale, release. Inhale, create tension, breathe in through nose. And exhale, release. Keep the hands relaxed in the lap and draw the attention to the breath. Being sure on the inhale, the belly rises. And on the exhale, the belly falls. The length of the inhales should match the length of the exhales, keeping a smooth and even pace of breath. And of course, if you'd like to add Ujjayi breath, you can add a slight constriction in the back of the throat by dropping the tongue down and back and creating that constriction before you exhale. Slowly open up the eyes, bring both palms together in front of the heart, and just rotate the position of one of your palms so that they're facing in the opposite direction, bringing a nice stretch to the wrists, forearms, and of course you'll switch that around. Just bring a few gentle stretches, switching opposite sides. And then relaxing palms back to the center or to the ground or legs. Go ahead and release the right elbow or right arm, bending the right elbow towards the ground. Inhale, lift the left arm overhead. And exhale, release left hand to the ground, planting the left hand, bending the left elbow. Inhale, right arm overhead, keeping the hips grounded. And exhale, the right hand to the ground. Inhale, both arms skyward. And exhale, give a twist to the right, releasing the right hand behind the back. Gazing over right shoulder. And exhale back to the center. Inhale, both arms overhead. And exhale, twisting to the left, planting left hand behind the back. Gazing over the left shoulder, keeping the collarbones or chest wide. And exhale, return back to the center. From here, we'll come into tabletop position, take a few cat-cows to continue warming up the body, blending the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, and being sure that you root down through the palms and throughout all 10 fingers. On the inhale, the head and hips will rise as the belly tips down, filling with air. And on exhale, we'll breathe out through the nose, around the back, draw chin to chest. A few times, inhaling, cow tilt, head and hips rise. And exhale, cat pose, back rubs. Take a few at your own pace. Trying not to rush. Trying to allow the movement to follow the pace of the breath. Taking one or two more. And then allow the hands to walk forward a bit so the body comes to a 45-degree angle, keeping the wrists under the shoulders. And then keep the elbows close as you slowly lower down to the belly. You'll just pull the elbows in towards the rib cage, press through the hands as you lengthen to a cobra, lengthening head to toe. And exhale, curl the toes under, slide back to downward facing dog, allowing the hips to press away from the hands, keeping a nice bend, little bend to the knees. And you can, of course, take a further bend to one knee or the other, or you can remain still. Just allowing the backs of the legs to warm slowly. And being sure that the arms remain nice and long and the same length as the spine. On your exhale, bend the knees and look ahead. Take some steps to travel towards the top of the mat. Bring the hands to the shins, lift up halfway to a flat back, look ahead. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, find a rise to standing, keeping rooted through the heels. Lift the arms and gaze. Exhale, send palms to heart center. So we'll move just a bit faster. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, bend to fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway, flattening the back. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back one foot and the other to a plank position, shoulders over the wrists. Keep the elbows closed as you travel. Exhale, high to low. Inhale, expand the chest, gaze up, upward dog. And exhale, back, downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Be sure that the arms again are nice and sort of parallel and the same length as the spine. You can keep the knees bent or not. Heels never have to touch. Feet are about hips distance apart. On the next exhale, bend the knees, look ahead, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, little bend to the knees as you rise to standing, lifting arms overhead. Exhale, send palms to heart center. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, bend to fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway, flatten the back. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to a plank. Keep shoulders over the wrist. Exhale, chaturanga, high plank to low plank. Flip the tops of the toes, feet to the mat. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. A few long breaths in and out through the nose. Belly rises or expands on inhale. And contracts or retreats to the spine on exhale. Make sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed from the ears. On the exhale, bend the knees, look ahead, step, walk, or hop to the top of mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, find a rise to standing. Lengthen, arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, send palms to heart center. From here, you'll take a few steps back. Allow a nice healthy bend to both knees. And shift the weight into the left foot. Bring both palms into heart center. And then go ahead when you're ready and bring your body back to a warrior three position. So you're keeping a little bend in the left knee, the right leg will raise towards a parallel position. You're pointing the right toes to the ground, flexing the right foot, and pressing the heel away from the head. Make sure the back stays like nice and flat, open. You don't want to round or cave forwards. Very slowly, you're going to keep the left knee bent, set the right foot down at the back of the mat, and just draw the arms up into a high lunge, pressing through the back right heel. And then you're going to inhale up to two straight legs, and exhale, fold forward over that front leg. Both toes or feet are facing forwards. You can use the hands for support. Find a nice deep stretch into that front left leg. And then bend that left knee, walk the hands forward, drop down that right knee to the ground, and then bring right foot to the ceiling to bring a stretch to the front right hip here. You can still use the support of the hands. And then we're going to work back through that backwards. So you're going to drop the foot back down, curl the right toes under, come up to two straight legs, folding over the left leg, shin. And then bend the left knee, press through the back right heel, inhale up to a high lunge. And then exhale, bring palms to heart center, shift the weight forward into that front left leg until you can come up to a warrior three. Keeping your balance, left knee stays bent. Right foot is flexed, heel presses away from head. And then slowly drop that right foot to the ground. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look ahead. Exhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back to a plank. Exhale, travel high and low. Inhale as you come to upward dog, engage the inner thighs. Exhale, back, downward dog. Take 2 more breaths here. Exhale, bend the knees and look ahead. Return back to the top of mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, find a rise to standing. A little bend to the knees, left arms overhead. And exhale, send palms to heart center. So to step back again just a bit. Make sure that the right knee is bent and shift the weight into the right foot. Keep the belly pulled in and up, keeping the core nice and active. Bring the palms to heart center and find your way to a warrior 3, the opposite side. So right knee is slightly bent, left leg raises, left foot flexes. We're finding length head to heel. Don't let the back round. Slowly keeping the right knee bent, just lower that left foot down to the back of mat, pressing through left heel. Inhale up to a high lunge. And then straighten both legs. On the next exhale, you'll fold over that right leg or shin. Both toes or feet face forward. And then bend that right knee, walk the hands forward, drop the left knee to the ground. Bring the left toe towards the ceiling, bringing a stretch to the front left hip. Using supportive hands. Trying to relax the glutes a bit. And then reverse that again. So bring the left toes back to the ground, curl the toes under. Inhale up to 2 straight legs. Exhale, bend as you fold over that front leg. Inhale, bend the right knee, press through the back left heel, send both arms up to a high lunge. Exhale, send palms to heart center. Again, you're going to pull the belly in and up, lengthen through top of head. Pulse a few times to shift the weight to the right foot. Keep the right knee bent as you lift back up to the warrior 3. Balancing pose, flexing the left foot. Smooth breath. And then release that left foot to the ground. Exhale, bend to fold forward. So just separate the feet sort of hips distance apart, allow a nice bend to the knees, and just bring the arms, allow the arms to hang, both hands to each opposite elbow. Might sway back and forth a little bit, relaxing the head and neck. And then release both hands to the ground. Inhale up halfway. You can keep the knees bent or legs straight. Bring the right hand towards the center of the mat. Give the left knee a bend as you inhale, opening left arm skyward. Drawing the belly in and up. And exhale, release left hand to the ground. Inhale that right arm open, bending right knee. And exhale, bringing both hands back to the ground. Bringing the hands to the shins, press up halfway on the inhale. Exhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back to plank position. Exhale, travel high to low. Inhale, flip the tops of feet to the mat, upward dog. And exhale, back, downward dog. Inhale the right leg skyward, swing the right foot through to the top of the mat. Come up once more to high lunge, Vinyasa. This time on the exhale, release both hands to the ground. And then we're going to shift up to half moon. So pulse the weight into the right foot and right hand, or left hand too. Lift that left leg. Instead of keeping the foot flexed and hips towards the ground, you'll keep the foot flexed and open that left hip towards the ceiling or sky, so the left hip stacks over the right. You'll keep a bend to the right knee, support through the right hand. You can keep the left hand to the ground for support, or inhale, open to the ceiling or sky. If you're nice and balanced, feel free to shift your gaze towards the ceiling. You're still keeping that foot flexed, so the left heel presses away from the head. If you like, you can add a bind here, bending the left knee and finding the left hand to wrap outside of the foot, still trying to open that left hip over right. On the exhale, you're going to release all the way back to that high lunge, squaring the hips, pressing through back left heel. Inhale, send both arms skyward. And exhale, release both hands to the ground. Bring the body back to plank position. Exhale, travel high to low, keeping elbows close. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg skyward, so the left foot through to the top of the mat. Press through the back right heel as you come up for high lunge, opposite side. And exhale, both hands toward the ground. Shift the weight towards the front left foot, left knee stays bent as you raise that right leg skyward. So again, a little bend of the left knee, hands can stay to the ground to start. Draw the belly in and up and start to open that right hip over the left, stacking it. Flexing the right heel, pressing away from the head, keeping the right hand to the ground or opening to the ceiling. 3 smooth breaths. Again, you can bend that right knee if you can reach. You do not have to. Find the right hand to wrap around the right foot. If you will do that, you still want to allow that right hip to open, stacking on top of the left. And then slowly come back to that high lunge, releasing the hands to the ground, squaring the hips, release the right foot, pressing through back right heel, and inhale up high lunge. And exhale, release both hands. Step both feet to the top of the mat, head releases towards the shins, forward fold. Inhale, bring the bend to the knees. Just slowly rise the arms overhead, bringing arms up into chair pose, making sure the tailbone is pointed down. And exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, flatten the back. Exhale, plank the palms, step or hop back to a plank. This time, hold that plank. If you want to add a little bit of challenge, just lift one leg. If you're lifting one leg, you'll lift the opposite leg. Make sure the low back doesn't sink down. You're pressing the heel away, back heel away from the head. And then release both feet to the ground, both knees to the ground. You can widen the knees, bring tops of feet to the ground or mat, and sit back into a relaxing child's pose. Arms can remain in front of you, or you can bring the arms behind if that's better for your shoulder. Slowly press back up to a tabletop position. You'll keep the right hand rooted to the ground. And inhale, send the left arm skyward. And keep the knees over the hips as you slide that left hand through here, underneath or in between. You can, depending on your body, allow that left shoulder to come all the way to the ground, but it doesn't have to. Right arm will extend out in front of you. You want to keep the hips over the knees. If you want to add a deeper twist, that right arm can kind of open to the ceiling or even wrap around the body to the opposite inner thigh. On your exhale, slowly release back to that tabletop position. Take a few cat-cows. Inhaling as head and hips tilt up. Exhaling, chin to chest. Take a few at your own pace. And then allow that left hand to root to the ground under shoulder. Keep the knees over hips. Inhale, right arm skyward. And send that right hand through. Allowing maybe the left shoulder to come to the ground. It does not have to. If it doesn't come to the ground, you can still walk that left hand in front of you and still find a nice twist here. Hips stay over the knees. Left arm can be extended in front of you, open to the ceiling, or wrapped around that opposite inner thigh. Smooth and equal breath. Try to fill from the belly all the way up, even through the chest, even though the chest is compromised. And slowly release that left hand to the ground. Come back up to that tabletop position. Take just a few more cat-cows. And then as you complete our next exhale, just cross the ankles or legs, come over into a seated position so you can extend those legs out in front of you. Make sure that the skin is pulled up and away from the sit bones. Send both arms up on the inhale. Keep the nice length with you as you fold forward, bending here, extending the hips out and away from the pelvis. Legs stay nice and connected to the ground and feet remain flexed. You might notice that the kneecaps are engaged or active, so relax the kneecaps. And take a few long breaths just in quiet, kind of lengthening or extending head or upper body away from the hips on inhale, and exhale to just relax upper body towards the lower body. Make sure that the jaw is relaxed. As you slowly rise back up on inhale, plant the wrists underneath the shoulders, fingers facing forward. Allow the heels to come to the ground, and as you inhale to press up, the tops of feet will come to the ground, or bottoms of feet rather. Keep the gaze to the ceiling. You should feel a stretch in the shoulders. Slowly exhale, release the bottom back down to the ground. Just scoot to the top of the mat. Allow the knees to come into the chest as you come onto the back. And feel free to make a few circles with the knees or hips, or open to a happy baby. Maybe rocking side to side, massaging back and forth, just anything that feels comfortable for one moment. And then allowing the body to, the legs just extend out. I'm starting to separate the legs so they're nice and wide. The ankles are open, allowing the shoulder blades to kind of connect to the ground, lifting the shoulders, rolling the shoulder blades up and back to expand the chest. Giving your hands and feet a nice little wiggle. And then finding when you're ready some stillness, allowing the eyes to close, muscles in the face to relax and soften. And paying attention to the breath just for the first few breaths, or 3 breaths, let's say. As you inhale, you'll focus on filling the belly, allowing the belly to rise, expand, fill with air, filling the bottoms of lungs all the way to the upper chest. And then exhale, slowly release that air. Take a few breaths, consciously filling, bottom to the top. And then try to allow the air to just come and go on its own. Allowing the air to flow on its own natural pace. Should you find yourself distracted at any moment, just acknowledge wherever you find yourself, trying not to make any judgment. And then just return slowly back to the breathing. Simply noticing when the air enters the nose and as it exits through the nose. Slowly just start to wiggle the fingers and toes a bit. Start to draw when you're ready, both legs back in towards each other. So the legs or ankles meet. And then inhale, send both arms overhead. Take a full body stretch. And then slowly bring the hands to the ground as you just press your body up nice and slow to a seated position. That seated position can be exactly how you began, maybe slightly different. Maybe you cross the legs the opposite direction than how you did begin. And allow when you're ready. A nice tall spine, relaxing the hands in the lap or wherever they're comfortable. Just keeping the eyes closed for another moment or two. Taking a moment to reflect, observe, notice what's going on in the body, mind, how they feel, and if they're possibly different from how you began. And when you're ready, just bringing both palms to heart center. Exhaling, bowing the head to the hands to reflect and honor the time that you've made for yourself. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Hopefully you have a nice rest of your day or evening, and to see you again soon.